What's going on, online fitness coaches? Welcome to another episode of the Change Lives Make Money Online Training Podcast. This is the #1 show for online fitness coaches who are trying to grow a successful online business. In today's episode, we're going to be talking about the mental journey of not wanting to do things. The mental journey of feeling like I don't want to do anything. So before we get into today's episode, I want to read out a rating that I got from this girl on my podcast, and she's a legend. Her name is Ashley Taylor. She said, "This guy is awesome. I've been following Brian on Instagram and recently joined his free challenge, and then I joined the 10K Academy. Just within a week, I've learned more from Brian and his team than any other coach I've ever interacted with. They provide such valuable content on every single platform. This is my first episode, but I'm so excited to use this as an..." Thank you so much, Ashley Taylor. I appreciate you. I hope you have an amazing day, and I just want to say thank you for listening to the podcast. Okay, so guys, in today's episode, we're talking about the mental journey of not wanting to do things. Now, in order to kind of like illustrate this point, I actually like laid out a day of mine and like how I operate on a daily basis. Because when you guys see me, right, like when you see B-Mark, I think that a lot of you guys assume that I'm always motivated. You know, that this guy's like always freaking motivated. He's always on live streams. He's always on podcasts. He's always on like he's always freaking motivated. Because right now at the 10K Coaching Academy, we are working with 650 students. We've got 650 active students in the academy. I'm also working with 16 one-on-one students in my 10K mastermind. I've produced over 300 podcast episodes in the last year and a half. I'm posting 5 to 10 times a week on Instagram, 10 to 20 times a week on TikTok. I'm on LinkedIn. I'm everywhere. I'm working on my own fitness goals. I've got a fiance that I'm engaged to. Now, from the outside looking in, it would seem that I always have motivation. Like when you guys are looking at like what I'm doing on a day-to-day basis, it seems like this is based purely on motivation. But the absolute truth, and I want to be completely open and honest with you guys, is that very often, like extremely often, I don't want to do anything, right? It's very often that I don't want to do anything. I just want to lay in bed. I love watching action movies, if we're being fully transparent. If I could lay in bed and watch action movies all day, I would fucks with that. But the truth is, like, if I was to give into that feeling all the time, that wouldn't make me very successful. So even though there's like very, very often that I don't want to do anything, I know that if I just give into that and I'm just like, oh, well, you know, screw it. I just want to lay in bed today, or I want to skip my workout today, or I want to sleep in today. That's not how you end up successful. So let me walk you guys through the mental journey of me not wanting to do anything. So for me, I always start like, it always starts in the morning, right? I view every single day as a fresh start, like a new opportunity to start a new day. So I always wake up with energy and enthusiasm because I know that no matter what happened yesterday, today is a brand new start. And so I always start the morning with energy and enthusiasm. So when I wake up, I do my best to come into the day with enthusiasm. So I wake up. First thing I do is I do my meditation. So I meditate every morning. I do my morning routine, and then I write my content for Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, and I post it. So that's before I've even had a chance to overthink my day or think about all the things that I have to do. I do my morning routine and I post content on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, and I get that out like immediately. That's the first thing I do every single day. So that's not really motivation. That's like more of a habit. So I just start my day with a positive action that's going to move my mindset and my business forward. So I meditate, do my morning ritual, and then I post on Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn before I even start my day. After that, after I'm done my posting, this takes me about an hour. That's when I head to the gym and I smash a workout. Now for me, like I fucking love working out. That's like probably my favorite part of my day every single day. This is like usually when I'm like super fucking like, I'm just like, yes, like I'm in the gym lifting heavy weights. Like I love that shit. Now post-workout is usually when the I don't want to do things mindset starts kicking in. Like post-workout, once I'm done my lift, is usually when that feeling of like, oh man, like kind of want to be lazy kicks in. So I always have post-workout cardio scheduled. So I do 20 minutes of messaging. So I do 20 minutes of cardio and I message my clients back. Then I do 20 minutes inside the 10K Coaching Academy, replying to all my clients. But like that's like 40 minutes of cardio plus messaging. So that's usually when my brain's like, I don't really want to work right now. And then I'll catch myself like saying things to myself in my head like, dude, like you're pretty lean already. Like you're good. Like you don't need to like do this cardio right now. It's all good. I'll catch myself saying things to myself in my head like, you can just do your academy work when you get home. You don't need to do it after the gym right now. You could probably get home and get a meal in. So even though it's like listed on my like daily tasks to do, there's still this voice inside of my head that just like is trying to convince me not to do the thing that I said I was going to do that's going to make me successful. So the way that I overcome the first obstacle of the day, which is like not wanting to do my post-work. How many of you guys have ever felt like that? Like you've got post-workout cardio and then after your workout, you're like, like, do I really need to do this cardio or can I just fucking head home? Now for me, the way that I overcome the first obstacle is I just like turn my fucking brain off and I walk over to the treadmill or the spin bike or whatever the fuck I'm going to do. And I just sit down on the machine and I start moving my feet. Once I like start moving my feet and I'm like on the elliptical machine, or I never do the elliptical. Actually, that's a lie. It's either bike or treadmill. Once I'm on the bike or the treadmill, like once I actually start moving, then I'm like, okay, like I started moving. Then I set my timer for 20 minutes and I get on and I start replying to all my clients like I said I was going to. So that's my first obstacle. And so after that, I come home. Now I eat breakfast, right? This is usually like eating breakfast. I fucking love eating food right now. It's good. I have oatmeal every single morning. So after I come home, I eat my breakfast. I sit down. I like just relax for like 20, 30 minutes. This is usually when the second wave of like, fuck, like, oh, I don't want to do anything. Like I'm tired. I could go for a nap. That's usually when this kicks in. It's like after I'm done breakfast, that's when I get like the second wave of like, fuck, like I don't want to do anything right now. So I'm supposed to have work in the academy as soon as I'm done breakfast, but that second wave of like, oh, like you should fucking chill kicks in. And I know we all feel this, like, I don't want to work out. I don't want to make a post. I don't want to get on. I know we all feel this. So, I sit down, I eat breakfast. And once I'm done eating breakfast, I turn on my ring light and I start working in the academy. For some reason, like I associate like my ring light with me working. So whenever I work, I turn on the ring light because it kind of puts me in the zone. So I sit down, I listen to success motivation. And the next part is when I'm like, okay, so I turn on my ring light and I listen to success motivation while I'm actually working on the academy. But guys, just this morning, like when this is like my supposed to-do list. Just this morning, like after I ate my breakfast, I was like, man, I don't want to do any work in the academy. So like I ate my breakfast and I felt this feeling of like, I just want to sleep in and be lazy and go take a nap. So I went upstairs, I took like a 5-minute break and I just kind of like breathed and I just kind of like relaxed. And I just kind of like let go of those feelings of like, I don't want to do anything kick in. And I relaxed. I let myself chill out for 5 minutes and then I headed downstairs. I picked my music. So I usually listen to like chill step and I sat down, I set a timer for 60 minutes and I got to work. And so here we are. It's 10 a.m. PST. My day started at 3:45 in the morning and I'm serving you guys after working all morning. Now this morning, and I want to talk about this today because let's kibosh this assumption that I'm always motivated, right? Because the truth is, like, as you guys can tell from today, like there's a lot of things that I do in my day that might not be like things that I want to do in the moment. But I think that there's so many people that rely on this motivation or they're searching for motivation in order for them to do the things that they need to do in order to like progress in their life. So if they want to get leaner, they're looking for the motivation to start their fitness journey. Or if they want to start an online business, they're looking for that motivation or that fire, or that spark, or something to start. Or if they want to post on social media, they're looking for that like inspiration, that like fucking magical moment that hits them when all of a sudden the post just comes to them and they can just write it without thinking about it. But oftentimes, I don't want to do anything. And the truth is, motivation is just a feeling. It's just a fleeting feeling. And if you rely on motivation in order to be successful, there's going to be a lot of times that you're not motivated. And so if that's the only basis that you have for success, then you're going to seriously struggle. So what is it for me that actually convinces me to work when I don't want to? I think that's why we're here. What is it for me that actually kind of like causes these switches to go off in my head that make me do the things that I don't want to do? So I do a few things, right? I have a few things that keep me in the loop. So let me run through them. So the first reason that I always end up doing the things that I said I was going to do, even if I don't want to, number one is responsibility. I know, like I literally know that there are people who count on me showing up. There's people that know that I'm going to show up every single day, Monday to Friday, 10 a.m. PST for a podcast or a live stream or a coaching call. I know that there are people counting on me, and I hate letting people down. I hate it. I don't like letting my audience down. I don't like letting my clients down. Like I want to serve at the highest possible level, and I want to be a good leader. I want to be a good coach. And so even though I might feel these temporary feelings of I don't want to do it, I actually feel like I have a responsibility to show up and do my very best, even if I don't want to. So the first thing that keeps me in the game is responsibility. I know that there are people counting on me, and I don't like letting people down. The second thing that keeps me, if you guys are taking notes, you should write these down. So number one is responsibility. Number two is integrity. Before I talk about this, I'm curious, online coach, how many of you guys have ever canceled your entire day before? Or you're like, I just not feel like it. You cancel your whole day. And then how shitty do you feel after you do that? Or how many times have you said you were going to start your online business at X date, and then you don't start it on X date because you weren't motivated, or it wasn't the right time, or you didn't feel like it. And then 3 months later, you're like, fuck, like, why didn't I do that thing that I said I was going to do? For me, I actually I hate the feeling of letting myself down. Like if I say I'm going to do something and I don't do it, I think that for me is literally the worst possible feeling. So I know how bad it feels to let myself down, and I hate that feeling, and I don't want to experience it. And I don't have to experience it. All I have to do is show up and do the thing that I said I was going to do. And so I make the decision to operate in integrity and do the thing that I said I was going to do, even if I don't want to, because I know that the reward is the feeling of accomplishment on the other side of that action, right? So number two is integrity. Number three, and there's going to be some of you guys that are online coaches that really connect with this, is hunger. I'm fucking hungry, man. Like I'm hungry as shit. I want to be the number one business coach in the online fitness coaching space, like uncontested. When people think online trainers business coach, I want them to think of Brian Mark. Like that's like the goal. Uncontested. Right now, I feel like I'm in the conversation for the top business coach, but I don't want to be in the conversation. I want to be the conversation. I want to be the clear, distinct, only option for online fitness coaches. And I absolutely know that if I can get myself to work harder than all the other people are willing to work, then it's only a matter of time before I accomplish that goal. And so because I'm extremely hungry, I know that like every single thing that I write down on my to-do list is a daily action step that will take me one step closer to accomplishing that goal. So if you're listening to this and you're an online fitness coach, how does this apply to you? Hunger for you guys is like, if you say you want to make $10,000 a month, and you say you want to have enough money to travel the world, and you say that you want to be able to quit your job and make full-time online fitness coaching your life, like that is your why, that is your mission, that is your vision. And for you guys, like you have to ask yourself, like, how much do you actually want this thing? Like, how much are you willing to pay for this thing? Because the price that you pay, people always talk about like you have to make sacrifices in order to get what you want. But I actually feel like the price that you pay is the willingness to move through those uncomfortable days where you don't feel like doing anything. Like that's the price you pay. It's like sacrificing temporary quote unquote pleasure, like watching Netflix or sleeping in or fucking going out on the weekends with your friends or whatever it is that you do to give you the pleasure, like sacrificing those things in order to do the work that's necessary for you to get to the goal of 10K or quitting your job or making a full-time living and traveling. You guys understand what I'm saying? It's hunger. It's like, I want this shit so fucking bad that I'm willing to put in the work even when I don't want to. So number three is hunger. Number four is vision. For me, I have like a very clear and distinct picture for how I want my 2021 to pan out. And if you're in the 10K Coaching Academy, it's likely that you have a clear and distinct picture too, because I made you do a vision board. That's one of the first videos that you watch in the 10K Academy right now is like how to create your vision board for 2021. For me, my vision is very distinct and it's very clear. And I know exactly what type of life I want to live. And I know that everything on my to-do list is an action step that's going to get me one step closer to that vision. So hunger and vision are very like aligned. It's like I'm hungry to accomplish the goal and the vision is the goal, right? Like this is what I want. This is what I want my life to look like. And whatever I'm doing now, obviously isn't what's going to get me to where I want to be. Because if I was already doing the successful actions, then I'd already have the thing that's in my vision. But because my vision is bigger than what I'm currently at right now, that means I have to work my ass off and level myself the fuck up in order to get there. And so it's this consistent day after day after day after day after day action steps that are going to get me to that vision. And this is like, I want to talk about this for a second because consistency, I actually really do think that the number one key to success in online coaching, in business, in life in general, in your fitness journey, in all of it is fucking consistency. If you can master consistency, you will be successful for the rest of your life at anything that you want to do. But consistency means that you have to show up every single day. Now, most people are masters at showing up when they want to show up, when they want to do things, when they want to work on their fitness journey, when they want to grow an online business, when they want X, Y, Z. Most people are masters at showing up when they want to do the thing. Where most people fall off in terms of accomplishing their goals and being consistent is those days where they feel like, if you're on a fitness journey, eating 7 brownies, or those days that they feel like ordering 2 pizzas, or those days that they feel like sleeping in for an extra 3 hours instead of waking up and working on their online business. Those are the days that fuck you up. But if you could master those days and you could like get yourself to do the things that you need to do to grow your business on those days, then like success is fucking inevitable because it's already easy to take action when you're motivated. You just need to learn how to master taking action when you don't feel like it. And if you can master that, you'll master consistency. And if you can master consistency, you'll be successful. So it's vision, right? It's vision in those daily action steps. The last thing for me that keeps me going on those days that I really don't want to do it, those days that I'm like, oh, like I'd rather sleep in, I'd rather stay in bed, is love. Yo, I fucking love what I do. I love what I do. I love the fact that like I get to come on this podcast and share my message with you guys. I love that there are so many people that listen. I love that I've got 650 online coaches. I love that 91 of them are over 10K a month. I love that 10K a month means they're working with 40 clients and they're changing their fucking lives. Like, I love it. I love every aspect of what I do. I love growing the business. So I love bringing on new team members and mentoring them. I love serving my coaches every single day in the academy. Like, I love it. I love every single part of what I do. I love my content creation. I love taking pictures. I love it. I love every single part of it. And so it's this like intense love for this thing that I do that keeps me in the game of doing the things that I don't want to do, even when I don't want to do them. And I'm sure if you're an online fitness coach, I'm sure you feel the same way. Like, you wouldn't be an online coach if you didn't fucking love fitness. Like you have to love the thing that you do. And for me, it's this like absolute intense love of the game that keeps me in it. Online coaches, like I'm not always motivated. I'm not. There are probably more days that I feel like not doing it than there are days that I feel like doing it. But like success doesn't care how you feel. Like at the end of the day, you have the results and the life that you want, or you don't have the result and you don't have the life that you want. And whether or not you get the life that you want, which is like, if you want to be in the best shape of your life, if you want to find the love of your life, if you want to make a certain amount of money per month, like all of those things are solely based on you and the action steps that you take on a day-to-day basis. That's fucking it. Like success is based on how much you're willing to put in the work. And again, there are so many of you that are masters at showing up when you're motivated. And so the biggest lie that you can tell yourself is that you need motivation. You need to search for motivation. That's the biggest piece of bullshit we tell ourselves ever, is like, I need to be motivated in order to take action. And so many people spend so much of their time searching for motivation, when in reality, it shouldn't be searching for motivation. It should be mastering showing up when you don't feel like doing it. Like, that's the fucking key. You guys understand what I'm saying here? So the things that keep me in the game is number 1, responsibility. Number 2, integrity. Number 3, hunger. Number 4, vision. And number 5, love. I'm not always motivated on my couch, but I always get it done. And I hope this helps. Thank you so much for tuning in. This is the Change Lives, Make Money Online Trainer podcast, the number 1 podcast for online fitness coaches who are trying to grow a successful online business. If you got value out of today's episode, a way that you can support the podcast, go over to the podcast, scroll to the very bottom. If you can leave me a star rating, if you scroll to the bottom of the episodes, you can leave me a rating and you can leave me a written review. That for me would mean the world to me. That's it. That's all. Hope you guys have the best day of your entire life, and I'll talk to you soon. Peace.